Welcome back to the Glorpcast. I'm Rare.
And I'm Zeeble.
We are reporting to you live from the faraway planet of Mars.
For real.
Man.
Red planet life, man.
The red planet life. If there's one thing I love, it's Mars.
Mars is great. It's objectively better than Earth.
It is so
They've got
much
too much
better.
gravity over there.
They do. It's like when you go there, it's suffocating. Their atmosphere.
And they think they're so much better than us, but they're one big moon. Our two moons are better than their one moon. Always, and they always will be.
Always. They're like, oh, we have water. We had water. We've still got ice.
Yeah, at our poles.
Just like them. They're no better than us.
Right?
Every time they send a robot here, I fuck with it.
Amazing.
I'll like throw rocks at it from far away and then run away before it can get a picture.
Occasionally, I'll jump in front of the cameras and then convince everyone on Earth it was Photoshop.
Dude, they're so dumb.
It's really fun. They are. And they keep saying, "Oh, we'll be there." I remember when humans were saying we'll be on Mars by 2020. No, they weren't.
No.
Now they're saying by 2030. No, they won't be.
No, they don't even have a rocket ship that can go here. Probably. They're gonna be.
This is what happens when you trust Floridians with technology.
I don't know why they launch all of this spacecraft out of there. It's not a smart idea.
It's quite concerning, yeah. Something I really like about Mars is that here, the sun is smaller, appears smaller in the sky than it does on Earth.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like less horrific looking, less intent, less terrifying, and it makes the sunsets better.
Oh, it
just does.
Well, also because
with the colors in the sky,
our atmosphere it makes the sunset blue.
Right.
And it's so cool. It's so pretty. If you're listening to this on Earth, which, that's kind of a red flag. But if you are, definitely search up like Mars sunset. If you haven't seen it, it's just so much prettier than an Earth sunset. Like it's not covered up by those ugly clouds. It doesn't have orange or green or purple or whatever colors you guys have. We just got blue and a black.
Only blue. Yeah. On Earth they have these things called cars, right? They're kind of like how we've got our like local kind of spacecraft we use to go between the different planets and the a very system-wide thing, whereas on Earth they kind of have that, but with like citywide, they're personal things.
They're like little weak baby spaceships,
right?
On
they
ground.
can't even, like, if they go into the air, things break.
Yeah,
they've been trying to make flying cars forever. Meanwhile, we've got our ships that work. But they're supposed to. My ship, I just lost like the two left thrusters on mine, so now I gotta get a new one.
Oh,
because
no.
the insurance doesn't cover it, and I had to get like a Zorp tour over there to go bring it into the shop, and then the shop's like, it's cooked, man, and I'm like, nah, dude.
That's so upsetting. How much is it gonna
is.
be to get a new one?
About like several thousand Martian pesos.
Oh, dude, that's so. Oh, you're gonna have to work overtime, man.
I really am. It's rather frustrating.
That's why we're opening a GoFundMe specifically for your new spaceship.
Yeah.
If you can kind of get ahead of the game if you just post your credit card information in the comments, and we'll use that and help push.
Do you think they take Earth bucks?
Well, they take pesos. There's like a peso to Martian peso converter.
That's true.
So I think they could do like any currency to peso to Martian peso.
It's kind of crazy how the Spanish got here in the 16th century on Earth. Well, their 16th century, and then they just didn't come back. It's quite weird.
Yeah. Yes. A lot of them they never left Mars.
Right. It's like our 14th language here or something.
Mm-hmm. I love a good empanada,
Right. They go hard, man.
They go hard. I mean, was it them who made the first Taco Bell in like Proxima C?
Yeah, I think it was.
That makes sense. Yeah. I mean, wait. You said you got your spaceship towed. What was that like?
Ooh, that was kind of costly. Yeah. So I had to get it, like, it broke down in orbit. Thrusters stopped working on the left side specifically. So when I'd fire them up, I'd just start spinning.
Oh no.
Yeah, it was pretty rough. So I brought it into the shop, right? And the mechanic Zorb is like, he's looking through it and he goes, "Nah, man, this ain't it." He checks the reverse thrusters and those are cooked too. So I'm not going anywhere.
Oh,
and
no.
then like the air breathing mode is cooked too. So I'm out of shit, man.
That's why you asked to record this in my ship.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
if you need like an easy ride, I think you can just steal one from the government on Earth. The U.S. government has been hoarding ships, any ships that they see.
So that's why they're more expensive now.
Yeah, they've been like, I mean, they're doing what they do best. Capitalism. They're grabbing them all and then raising the prices.
It's pretty crazy.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, I mean, why do we even fly to the spaceport in the middle of Nevada? Why do we go there? Like, every time we do, they take our ships and they start trying to dissect us and stuff. And it's like, I thought this was customs, dude. I thought this was how to enter the Earth legally.
It's crazy that
they want me to land in the field in the middle of... Right. It's like they want us to land in a field in the middle of nowhere in Kansas or something.
What? Like, there's nothing there. There's nothing in most of America. We want to go to the cool places, like the Grand Canyon. That's a big hole.
Right. Okay, to be fair, on Mars, we have a bigger canyon.
We do.
We also have a taller... Yeah, we've got, Valles Marineris, the big boy. We also have Olympus Mons, so, like, we are absolutely mogging the Earth right now.
We are. Yeah. Not to brag, but our mountain also starts underwater. Their Mount Olympus, or whatever their big mountain is, there's no way it can beat that.
I mean, it doesn't. Ours is 3 times bigger.
Hell yeah.
We're just objectively better than them.
Well, you know what they have that we don't?
What do they have?
Chihuahuas.
They do have those, you're right.
They got chihuahuas, which that is a feat to create such a being.
Once again, friends of the Spanish there.
They're such small, kind of weird-looking things.
Right?
I mean, just all the whole thing that they did to wolves, turning them into dogs, is insane to me. That is actually illegal in most colonies.
Right? I don't even know how they did that. Meanwhile, I go outside and I get attacked by our wildlife. I still don't know how we managed to keep them hidden from, the Earth rovers.
They're just afraid of it because it's like humans stink.
Scary.
They have this
That's true.
scent, this natural musk, and it's
like they can't even smell it or something. Yeah.
They can't. It's disgusting. It repulses us. It's like a repel.
It honestly does. Right. It's just gross.
Mm-hmm.
I have to ask, what's the difference? Like, where do you draw the line at a grain of sand versus a pebble? Like, is a pebble just a very big grain of sand?
I've never really thought of that because maybe a grain of sand is just a really small pebble.
That's true.
And a really big rock is a really big pebble. Maybe it's all about perspective. Maybe a grain of sand is a really tiny rock.
Right.
But what if the grain of sand is the normal size one? And so what if like a grain of sand is a normal size pebble? And so a pebble is a big pebble and a rock is a really big pebble.
I think you've been hitting the Jupiter carts a little too hard.
I don't know what you're talking about. Those aren't allowed here. Not anymore.
Yeah.
They made them illegal.
Martian immigration's
recently.
pretty hard.
Pretty hard. They've been going especially hard on Jupiter though.
Right.
It's a gas planet for a reason,
Right? Man, I was coming back from a week in like Jupiter's orbit, and they searched my entire ship, and I think they're part of the reason why my thrusters broke.
Really? They
I
can
think
be
so.
pretty rough. They can be pretty rough.
They
I
can
mean,
be.
did you go through the storm at all on Jupiter?
Nah, I mean, I kind of was just like in orbit. I was stopping at the moon, so I didn't even like enter Jupiter proper. And they still inspected me like that.
When I was this was way back when, like as soon as I got out of high school, I went to Jupiter, and we started going into the eye. And first off, the stuff in there is good. That is the good stuff. But also, you might die. I had 2 friends die on me that day.
That's pretty crazy.
But that was also the best experience I've had. So I would recommend it.
Sounds rad.
Uh-huh.
I like that on Earth they think they created the whole 3-tiered school system where it's like,
No.
nah, that's just universal. You come up with it independently. Every single intelligent species has, except for the Qhweeps. I said intelligent species, but like,
I mean,
they've only got a 1-tier system with their long-ass lifespans anyway, but
Qhweeps just, they're a little different. They're a little special from the rest of us.
they can cook a mean quesadilla, though.
Oh my god, they can, dude. A Vorpian quesadilla is fire.
It hits different, yeah.
I went to Earth actually. I went to like middle of America. I kidnapped this teenage boy, and I copied him so I looked like him, like in Megamind, And
Right.
I kind of infiltrated his family, like just for dinner, just to see what they had, and they made enchiladas. And for context, I could tell enchilada does not run in that family. There's no recipe.
Right.
They put like mushrooms in that stuff.
What?
It was nasty. There was like a little bit of cheese on top. There's no cheese inside. They were raw dogging that. And
That's crazy.
that might have been my worst experience on Earth. And I have been to Portland. Like,
That's absurd.
yeah. I mean, you know Megamind, right? Like
Yeah, I do.
It's huge here on Mars.
We find somehow we got representation in Earth media.
It's crazy. That's the only accurate representation too. There's a bunch of movies about like Attack of the Martians or something, but that's not accurate.
Right? We're not that violent. I mean, we're just a little out there.
Some of us are a little mischievous. I know sometimes you like to have a little mustache that you twirl.
Yeah. I mean, why wouldn't I?
Why wouldn't you?
It's for the aesthetic.
The aesthetic.
Yeah.
And actually, you know what? While I was on Earth, I did actually see a unicorn.
Really?
Yeah, they said they're mythical, but it was a unicorn. It was a mammal covered in fur with horns. It wasn't a
Really?
horse, though. It was a rabbit. And the horns weren't straight. They were like deer horns, but
Huh.
I saw it.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So maybe all those human myths about like dragons and clowns, maybe they're actually real.
Maybe they're myths about, wait, I mean, they got myths about us, so maybe they gotta come from somewhere, right?
Yeah. Wait, the jackrabbit did look like your cousin Chris.
That's crazy?
Was that your cousin?
He might have been messing around.
That would make a lot of sense. What was the craziest thing you've seen on Earth?
Craziest thing I've seen on Earth. I don't know. Have you ever heard of the city of Chicago, right? They have these stores called 7-Elevens. Well, I mean, I've been to they have 7-Elevens all over the place. Sometimes they have what's called a Cuban sandwich. Well, I was outside the 7-Eleven in Chicago, and I wanted to get me a Cuban sandwich because they're really good. And this dude next to me goes, "A Cuban sandwich? I don't want no Cuban sandwich." I don't know. Why wouldn't you want a Cuban sandwich? Cuban sandwiches are the best.
Are they? I've never had one.
They are. They're good. They were really good.
And this wasn't in Cuba.
No, it was in
Chicago.
the north of Cuba, a place called Well, Chicago didn't have any. That's what I'm saying. They had they had them in Florida though.
In Florida.
Crazy ass state.
Oh. Yeah. I mean, that's
the other
pretty close
spaceport.
to Cuba. What's the Cuban sandwich like?
So it's got they have these things called pickles. They put those in there.
Oh, I've
and
had
then
pickles.
it's
I like it.
Yeah. So yeah, they got pickles on there, they got mustard on there, they got like different kinds of meat on there, cheese.
Well,
They're fire.
actually, I don't know if you know, but all Martians are actually naturally allergic to pickles.
That doesn't stop us from eating them though.
No, but it would explain why your mouth kind of prolapses after you eat it, right?
Right.
Yeah. You've never questioned that?
Nah, I mean,
Really?
they're too good to question it. Yeah.
I've
Really.
got to try me one then.
Yeah.
I'm
They're
gonna
just
go,
that good.
I'm gonna go get me a Cuban sandwich. I do want a Cuban sandwich. Speaking of pickle, did you know that there is actually a mythical beast that is a pickle?
I did not.
It's celebrated in Germany specifically. Around Christmas time. So like snowy weather, you know?
Right.
And they'll hide a pickle around the house every day for children to like try to find and hunt for. And they hunt these pickles. And it's like the Christmas pickle. Sometimes they'll put a little hat on it, a little hat.
That's like us taking a brick of uranium, right, and being like, it's, the Zorb's giving uranium.
Okay, but the Zorb's giving uranium is like really fun.
It is really fun.
Although my mouth prolapses when I eat that too.
That's a you thing. Like,
oh,
I know I'm not allergic to uranium.
I got to get that checked out then.
You probably ought to.
Yeah, because unlike Earthlings, we can handle a little bit of radiation.
Right. It's kind of crazy that they can't. I mean, granted, it's because they got all soft with that atmosphere they've got.
Mm-hmm.
They're all soft, and then they're magnetic, field working. Out here flexing all that.
We don't need.
At least we have 2 moons.
We take the solar flare with pride.
Right. It's what gives us our healthy glow.
Yeah, our healthy glow. Did you hear the breaking news?
The breaking news.
Yes, from Earth, they are taking down the ISS.
Really?
Yeah, they're gonna deorbit it in 2030. Earth years.
That's crazy. It's been there for so long.
Yeah, I loved playing pranks on them.
Right? It's been there so long that Earth had a functioning, spaceport that they were launching stuff from when it was sent up. Like,
they don't even have
nowadays they're just
yet.
Right. Nowadays they're just like, yeah, we have spaceport. We only land there. They don't ever launch anything from there. They're like, yeah,
No.
They send maybe one rocket up a year or something. But then it's like, come on, Earth.
That was one of their coolest things that they did with space. One of the only things they did with space now.
Right. And it's like, that was a cool thing they had going for them. It was a setup for like expanding on. We thought they were going to finally join, the council of the council of Glorps, but they didn't. They didn't.
I mean, have you seen the video of the guy that was on the space station and he brought like a gorilla suit and he chased
I did see that.
Yeah. That was my cousin Vinny's
If he had done
idea.
it with an orangutan. Nice. If he had done it with an orangutan suit, people would have believed him.
Oh yeah.
Like they would have been like, "Oh, that's real."
Well, that's only because the orangutans they like to camp out on the moon.
They really do.
We're lucky. They're lucky.
I mean, who do you think manufactures the Jupiter carts? Like,
It's a very orangutan thing to do.
It is. There's some goofy fellas, I'll tell you that.
They're lucky that when they went to the moon, they didn't have color cameras because they would have like popped out.
They would have gotten caught. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You still can't see them in the image.
Yeah. It's just because it's super blurry.
Right.
But there's a reason they haven't gone back, and it's because one of them stepped in orangutan poo, and they really embarrassed them.
Right. Like I said, the orangutans are getting sloppy. They're gonna get caught one of these days, and they're gonna have to pay Earth taxes.
Oh, that would be a nightmare. Earth taxes are
That would be
awful.
That's one of the reasons I only go there on necessity. But it's one of the only places I can get certain things. Like, when I need oxygen, I have to go there. Like when I need oxygen for a project, like for burning fuels or something, I have to go to Earth to get it because Mars lost its oxygen millions of years ago.
It's only because the Earthlings took it. It's only because
right.
It's
the dinosaurs went and took it.
Ago. The dinosaurs took it. That's why we had to take them out.
Right. They stole our oxygen. And now we have to go to Earth to create that stuff. And then it's like same like with the water. We don't want to use our water. We go to Earth to steal theirs, to burn it into hydrogen and stuff like that.
Not because their water is better than ours. Our water is still better. We just have a little less.
Kind of crazy, yeah.
Oh, the human I captured is breaking containment. This happened
again.
Yeah, this happened before. I really need to work on my security measures. He has a laser and he's shooting all my robots, and I don't appreciate that.
Yeah, that's not good.
We've got to go deal with that.
Yep.
Toodaloo.